As an avid fan of the eerie and the unexplained, I've encountered my fair share of spine-chilling tales that have left an indelible mark on my memory. From encounters with ghosts to inexplicable phenomena, these 6 true stories have stayed with me through the years, each one serving as a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the shadows. Today we will talk about 6 of my favorite scary true stories through the years. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The haunted house on Maple Street. Growing up in a small town, I often heard whispers of the old house on Maple Street, a dilapidated mansion said to be haunted by the spirits of its former inhabitants. Intrigued by the rumors, my friends and I dared each other to spend a night inside the abandoned house. Growing up in a small town, the tales of the old house on Maple Street were as much a part of our childhood as the towering oak trees and winding country roads. It stood at the end of the street like a silent sentinel, its crumbling facade a testament to the passage of time. The stories surrounding the house were whispered in hushed tones, a tragic tale of love lost and lives cut short. Legend had it that the house was haunted by the spirits of its former inhabitants, a family torn apart by jealousy and betrayal. As children, we dared each other to venture inside, our hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement, but none of us were brave enough to face the darkness that lurked within. The air inside was thick with dust and decay, and the faint scent of mildew hung in the air. As we made our way through the darkened halls, the floorboards groaned beneath our feet, as if protesting our intrusion. Shadows danced in the corners of the room, and strange noises echoed through the empty halls. A soft whispering in our ears, the sound of footsteps on the stairs. Despite our fear, we pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the walls of the old house. But as the night wore on, our courage began to wane, and a sense of unease settled over us like a heavy shroud. Then suddenly we heard it, the sound of a woman's voice, soft and mournful, echoing through the darkness. Frozen in terror, we listened as the voice grew louder and more insistent, until it seemed to surround us on all sides. With a collective gasp, we turned to flee, but the door slammed shut with a deafening crash, trapping us inside. Panic set in as we frantically searched for a way out, our hearts pounding in our chests. 2. The ghostly encounter in the cemetery. One foggy night, I found myself wandering through the local cemetery, drawn by an inexplicable force. As I wandered among the tombstones, a figure materialized before me, a spectral apparition with hollow eyes and a mournful expression. Frozen in fear, I watched as the ghostly figure beckoned me closer, its voice a soft whisper in the night. Unable to resist, I followed the spirit deeper into the cemetery, the air thick with an otherworldly chill. But as suddenly as it had appeared, the ghost vanished into thin air, leaving me alone in the darkness. To this day, I can still hear its mournful cries echoing in my mind. 3. The phantom hitchhiker. While driving along a lonely stretch of highway, I encountered a hitchhiker, a young woman with a haunted expression and a story to tell. She claimed to be searching for her lost love, who had disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Feeling a pang of sympathy, I offered her a ride, but as we drove on in silence, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about her. Her presence seemed to cast a pall over the car, and an icy chill filled the air. Suddenly, the woman vanished before my eyes, leaving behind only the faint scent of lavender. Terrified, I sped away from the spot, vowing never to pick up another hitchhiker again. 4. The cursed artifact. While exploring an antique shop, I stumbled upon a curious artifact, an old necklace said to be cursed by the spirits of its former owners. Ignoring the warnings of the shopkeeper, I purchased the necklace and brought it home with me. But from the moment I brought the necklace into my house, strange things began to happen. Objects would move on their own, strange shadows danced across the walls, and I heard whispers in the dead of night. Realizing my mistake, I returned the necklace to the antique shop, hoping to rid myself of its cursed presence once and for all. But to this day, I can't shake the feeling that something malevolent still lurks in the shadows. 5. The Ouija board experiment gone wrong. In a moment of curiosity, my friends and I decided to conduct a seance using a Ouija board we found hidden away in the attic. As we gathered around the board, our fingers lightly touching the planchette, we felt a strange energy coursing through the room. But as we began to ask questions, the planchette moved of its own accord, spelling out cryptic messages from beyond the grave. Terrified, we tried to end the seance, but the board seemed to have a mind of its own, refusing to let us go. In a panic, we fled the room, leaving the Ouija board behind. But the experience left us shaken, and we vowed never to dabble in the occult again. 6. The Phantom Footsteps. Late one night, while staying at a remote cabin in the woods, I heard the sound of footsteps outside my door. A slow, deliberate pacing that sent chills down my spine. At first, I dismissed it as the rustling of leaves or the wind playing tricks on my mind. But as the minutes passed, the footsteps grew louder and more distinct, echoing through the stillness of the night. I lay frozen in bed, my heart pounding in my chest, as the realization slowly dawned on me. There was someone, or something, outside my door. My mind raced with all manner of terrifying possibilities. Was it a wild animal, a deranged lunatic, or something far more sinister? Summoning every ounce of courage, I mustered the strength to tiptoe towards the door, my hand trembling as I reached for the doorknob. With a deep breath, I swung the door open, expecting to come face to face with whatever lurked in the darkness. But to my horror, there was nothing there. No sign of life, no trace of the source of the footsteps. Just the eerie silence of the forest and the faint glow of the moon casting eerie shadows across the landscape. Shaken to the core, I quickly bolted the door and retreated to the safety of my bed, my mind racing with unanswered questions. Was it a trick of the imagination, a ghostly apparition from beyond the grave, or something even more sinister, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the cover of darkness to make its presence known? As I lay awake in the darkness, the memory of those phantom footsteps echoing in my ears, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that something malevolent was still out there, lurking just beyond the edge of my perception, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, I vowed never to return to that remote cabin in the woods, where the line between reality and nightmare blurred and the darkness held sway over all. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.